Hey everyone, Ben here. I'm the developer of Final Factory. We have a new base tour with one of our playtesters, Flajo. He's in the call. Flajo, you can say hi.
Hello.
So Flajo has built a very interesting base, a factory unlike I've ever seen before, and I thought it would make a great video. So he's just going to kind of walk us through each part of this factory, and we'll talk a little bit about why it's so unique and some of the interesting things that he's done. So where should we start, Flajo? Where's a good place to begin?
I would say the first step is to look at the map, to just
Good
see
idea.
the space is very, in other words, small, since it was built on hard and suffering. So I needed
Yeah.
to keep it extremely well defended and as small and close together to get as weak enemies as possible.
Yeah.
That's why it's got this unique kind of structure, defense system, and small builds.
One thing I'm noticing right away is this ship over here. Is this like a patrol ship?
Yep, there should be around about 2 flying around.
I love this. I'm assuming he's just sort of has waypoints surrounding the wall. Oh, and there's another one up here. You're right. Let's see if we
You're
can go
correct.
follow it. And is this thing pretty effective at clearing out the Vec?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's
here's
just
this first.
sometimes it's not in range to destroy all of bases, so they will sometimes regenerate.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So you're using this basically to rotate it into the new orientation to travel along this wall now.
Exactly, since if they flew sometimes sidewards, there might be an unexpected hit and
Right.
they fell apart sometimes.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. I love that. It looks like you had a couple more of these docked over here. Are you planning on using these for more patrols?
I kind of want to, but my production can't handle all of them at the moment. And sometimes they are used just to clear a way for me, since
Yeah.
it's mostly easier to use them than just to rely on my own fleet,
Yeah.
which doesn't get new ships on the way, since they always request new ones from my base.
Right. Well, this ship is just absolutely gorgeous. Definitely one of the best designs I've seen so far. But anyway, we can talk a little bit about the factory now. So I got distracted by the ships flying around, and they just looked so cool on the map, I have to say. So yeah, what should we be looking at here?
Best to travel to the home portal,
Okay.
and from there on look at the base.
All right, let's go over here. So this is the starting portal. That for those that are new to Final Factory, when you start the game, you will have a portal near you. It's marked, Flajo's named it home, but you'll find other portals that you can fast travel to. So he's found one out here. This is we're near a black hole, which you'll need for Endgame. They're sort of scattered about. Here's another one. So this is kind of the starting area.
Left of the portal, you can see my artifact range.
Yes, this is absolutely magnificent. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this design?
It just grew as my base grew, since you always needed more resources,
Yep.
and I didn't have much of them, since I don't want to expand too much. So I used many of these duplicators. I think now around they're at a 13 times multiplier to anything this base produces.
That is truly remarkable. So again, for those that don't know, duplicators are dropped by enemies. They're one of the better drops, and they increase production by 30%, I believe.
I believe it's
20%. I actually nerfed it. I nerfed it because of Flajo.
I'm sorry, guys.
They were too good. In fact, I had to do several nerfs because there's two artifacts here at play. There's the duplicators, which are adding a 20% bonus to every station that it's connected to. So you can see that these are all chained off of this giant structure marked by this armored walls and connected to these printers, and these assemblers are all benefiting from just an absolutely huge number of of these duplicators. Let's see if we can get a count here. Yeah, so 64 duplicators on this one station. And also you've built a ton of stabilizers, 62 stabilizers, which is truly remarkable. So and the other nerf that I had to do originally, I think Flajo, you had maybe even a bigger version of this. So I made it so every time you add a duplicator or stabilizer, these are the stabilizer artifacts, they're adding stability to let you build more onto a single station. Every time you add one of these to a station, it increases the power amount exponentially that you need. Honestly, I did not expect you to be able to even attach this many. This is crazy.
Like you can see, they are using about 930 kilowatt just for one singular stabilizer artifact.
Right. So each one of these are using almost a megawatt, which is a lot in Final Factory. And just for reference, also you can see in the bottom here the stability. Some quick info here. This station is using 2,105 stability, which, and when I designed the game, I really imagined things to be about, a large station to be around 200 stability. And Flajo has designed a station at 2,100 and you actually have 500 stability room here. You could build more.
Just for comparison, I think my spaceships use just around 200.
Oh, that's actually a good comparison. So these are what I would consider pretty large ships, and these are using 220. So yeah, that's a great example. This is kind of what I imagine maybe a large ship or station might consist of. So you can imagine the design challenges with. So how did you power this? How do you make this work? Because this requires so much power. 141 megawatts.
If you would go to the left and zoom a bit out, you can see there's a ton of Dyson power transmitters and receivers. The receivers need some cooling since they produce a massive amount of heat.
Yeah, and actually, let's see what the heat generation of these things are. 360 degrees Celsius per second. That's absolutely massive. You can see here that, I had anticipated, these two assemblers are generating 1.2 Celsius per second. That's a decent amount, but 360 is truly enormous. So you're really balancing heat and power and a huge amount of stability to make this work. And so where is this power coming from?
If you look to the left again, you can see this one burning building down there.
Yeah, I was wondering about this.
That's just a singular power station burning some of the late game items just for power.
Wow. Yeah, so you're burning Singularity engines, which are quite difficult to craft. They take 16 Singularity circuits, fullerene structures. I mean, this is all like Endgame items. And again, so for those people who don't know, in Final Factory, you can burn anything for fuel, any items that you want. And the more massive the item, the more power it will generate. So Flajo has selected one of the most complicated and massive structures in the game, the Singularity engine, and is using that to power his array here. But this doesn't seem, is this enough? This is 125 megawatts.
If you look up, there's a second identical station up there.
Oh, I see. That's great that you were able to work around it and generate all this power with Singularity engines. So where are those coming from? We could follow this down, I suppose.
They're produced by Singular Advanced Assembler.
Yeah. So this is really the power of your. Oh wait, this is actually. Oh no, it is connected to the large structure here.
Yes, it's always connected.
Right.
But if you want, you can select any research to get a bit of production in the space.
Oh, that's a good idea. So we'll go mining productivity, and the factory should start coming to life. But this is really cool. So what Flajo's doing here is the armor blocks are a relatively new addition to the game, and he's really taking good advantage of them because they will connect anything they're sort of adjacent to. So they're adjacent to this, and then we can follow all the way back here to the power array, the stability array, the duplicator array. And so this singular assembler is able to generate a huge number of Singularity engines for pretty cheap, right? Because you're getting such a huge bonus.
If you want, you can take all items out of the chest right next to it and see how...
Oh, there we go, yeah. Now things are kind of coming to life.
And if you now would click in the production building, I think, you can see how fast the screen bar is going up.
Yeah, so every time that bar completes, it's another Singularity engine, which is, I mean, given the complexity and difficulty of building this, I mean, you can just see the raw resources needed here are like thousands of ore. And you also need exotic matter, which you can only get with your Dyson Sphere. And we can take a look at that. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
In this base, everything is automated from the Dyson Sphere till the Black Stargate. Everything is automated.
Yeah, you can see the some of the ships flying out to... Oh, these are the Stellar research bots. I was seeing the Dyson bots fly over there. We could check out the Dyson Sphere. Okay, so let's just take a look at the Dyson Sphere. There is this game is alpha, so there is a little bit bug with the display of the Dyson bots, but in general, each Dyson bot generates a certain amount of power as it rotates around the star, and that power is delivered to the Dyson platform. You can see here, this is a full Dyson Sphere that has over 1,200 bots. It also generates exotic matter from the sun's atmosphere, and that is a crucial component in late game items. So,
which you can see, there's already a ship collecting them and waiting for, I think.
Yes. So this is a cargo ship here.
Yep.
Let's follow it over.
That's one of my in-base transport ships, since
it's a very practical design.
That's true, but normally I could remove the defense platform since there isn't any need of them, since it only flies inside.
Right, yeah, I was going to ask, but do you have some of these ships that are flying in enemy space that you need the defense platforms for?
Yep, the left and right one of you, which aren't there. They are used to bring stuff to the Dark Stargate to automatically produce it.
Oh, nice. They're probably on their way up there or something. Maybe docked. We'll go up there in a minute.
Since my production is so extreme, I've added something with the chest on front. The ship is just working as an, let's say, conveyor belt.
Oh my gosh.
Which can be removed, since my base normally it's built so it doesn't, if I got enough exotic matter, the ship won't fly. It will only fly if there's a need for the Dyson Sphere to be started. So I've built this that it won't always produce it.
That is brilliant. So you're basically using the schedule of this this mobile station to enable the transfer of panels here. Because without this mobile station, that box is not going to be there.
Exactly.
That is absolutely brilliant. So you have all these little optimizations and little pieces of the puzzle that I've just never seen anyone do before.
To be fair, I spend way too much time in the safe, to be honest.
Which I appreciate, because I'll be interested to see, especially as the game releases in March and we get a lot more players. I wonder if we'll see kind of this kind of base be popular. Where you have an absolutely giant mega station with a ton of artifacts powering it. So yeah, it'll just be kind of interesting to see how the meta shakes out and what people ultimately end up building, and whether or not I need to nerf the artifacts more or not.
But to be honest, the space is relatively hard to build, since if you would look up there's just lines crossing lines over lines.
Right, yeah, all these inserters. It's truly a glorious dish of spaghetti. I love it.
Yeah, and above, at the right of the map, you can see all my production builds for the research pod.
Oh yes, here.
In the space. And above it, as on the top part, the complete station to the left, this is all buildings for every building you can possibly want.
Oh, so this is the mall, basically.
Exactly. except for I think the Dark Stargate and the Dyson Sphere. Every other you can infinitely request and take out.
That's amazing. Yeah, so these are
And
attached to providers. People who play Factorial will be familiar. The Flajo has you have construction towers around here somewhere. So these are construction bot towers. They're housing all the construction bots. In Final Factory, there's no limit to like distance in the same way as Factorio. So you can get away with just having a central array, and these bots will go anywhere on the map to fulfill construction requests. All right, so where else should we check out?
there would be 2 parts. Would you like the trash can?
Oh yeah,
I
let's
like the
talk about the
quality
trash
break.
can.
I've built so much, destroyed so many stuff. My chest always got filled with stuff I didn't need, since my base produced so many that it was just a waste of space.
Yep.
So I've built this on the setup on your left. You can see there's one chest. Yeah, if I destroy something, it will be delivered to this thing. Then it will be transported into the sorting systems, where all artifacts will be sorted out and not be
Gotcha. So if I
destroyed.
pass in a radiator here, this will be sorted here.
Yeah, and since you can see it's not 100%, I needed to make very
it loops back around.
a huge, exactly. And if the loop once broke, also they got through it, and something would get sorted out, it would go to the right.
So basically, if your boxes are full, it's going to end up in the trash, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, so here's...
Like one item got sent in it.
Yeah, we just saw
And
one item go in there. And here comes another one, destined for doom. And then
yeah, it's still not 100% certain that all of my artifacts will go down there.
Oh, there's still this other... So what's going on over here?
That's just... So, I would say, just to make sure the chest down there, which you see, has the power icon.
Yep.
That's the chest which will be destroyed.
Yep.
So there's all these junctions just to make sure that most items don't pass through the middle.
Yeah.
So you can add one item in the chest in the middle if you want. Also to the right. Add any item.
Okay.
And now scroll it out. You can see it powers up the Singularity engine.
Yes. Okay. And now the Comet Catcher is activated.
I would stay out of there for you.
This is absolutely brilliant.
It destroys the chest, and with it, all the items in it are gone.
That's incredible. So this is an automated trash system. Comet Catchers, for those who haven't played the game, they suck in comets, and if you stand in there or build anything in the path of the comet, it predictably destroys it. So this is a way that Flajo has leveraged that to destroy items permanently. So any item in this box will get destroyed, and then the construction bots from his network will replace the box when needed. So that is awesome.
Yeah. And due to the fact that there sometimes are high density items, I needed to add some Dyson energy emitter just to get rid of the energy down there.
Oh, that's what this is doing.
It's just in theory using up about 10 megawatts just to destroy it.
Yeah, that's brilliant, because there's really nothing happening here. So this receiver is just receiving 10 megawatts of power, and then that's just being dissipated, I guess. I love this design. I mean, this is really great stuff. I'm sure this type of thing we definitely will see as more people play the game. All right, so what else do you want to talk about here?
No, there's mostly just the Black Stargate if you want to look at it.
Sure. I do like your Comet Catcher array here, nice and safe, making sure that you don't accidentally run into a comet. Them all pointing at each other. One question I have is, what made you decide to use... So Singularity cargo artifacts are all connected to each other with the same inventory, so you can transport items anywhere on the map, and it looks like you have exclusively use this for ice. Can you talk about that decision a little bit?
It's mostly from mid to early game, which I used the Singularity the ice as fuel for most of my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my ships even had one of these and could land and refill on, or better said, my ship stations doesn't refill with ice, so I just need to place one Singularity artifact and not make, let's say, relatively long ways with my cargo bot.
You can use it basically as infinite fuel in a way and not have to worry about the long-range logistics of moving the ice around, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, we could talk a little about your wall is pretty intense here. I've turned off enemies just for the stream, so they're not getting attacked right now. But you have a huge array of lasers and armor. You basically have created a de facto wall with this armor wall and all these defense platforms. You did most of this map on hard mode, right?
Yes, I completely, most of it. Till I beat the game and a bit further out.
That's pretty impressive. I've never even beaten the game on hard mode. I've gotten pretty far, but I've never beaten it. Well, let's go check out your black hole setup. Spoilers ahead for the end game, if anyone cares. The end game of Final Factory involves building a ship that is capable of traversing a black hole. I should have took the portal. Now that I think about it. Oh well.
You just show them the distance you need.
Yeah, you can get a nice sense of
find
scale. And here we are. We've arrived into your area. You really beefed this up with defenses. It's worth pointing out that the enemy strength this deep out is 500%, so enemies that do attack out here are really strong. So yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about your design here and what you've got going on?
Yeah, mostly it's just defending the system, since in the game, I think on hardcore the strength was already here at cap. I think it was at 1000%. So the enemies were extremely hard to defeat.
So yeah, you've built this massive sort of defensive array. I'm wondering, you mentioned that you were losing up to 200 to 300 bots, per minute you were saying?
Yes.
I wonder how much of that was up here versus down in your main base, because the enemies are so much stronger out here than they are closer to origin. So how long have you spent on this map? And how long do you think it took you to beat the game on hard mode?
I think it was 26 hours, I think, was it?
Nice.
Just to beat it, and I think this map should have close to 2.5 days playtime.
Nice, so about 50 to 60 hours. Pretty good. Well, thanks so much for taking me through this pretty remarkable base. Definitely the most unique and clever use of artifacts I have ever seen. I'm really excited to see what other people do, especially having now seen this kind of design. Really, really awesome stuff, Flajo.
Thanks. I just hope others like it and build some crazy stuff with it. It's always fun to watch.
All right, well, I think that'll do it, though. Thanks again, Flajo.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
Likewise.